Good morning. Only the 4 matches yesterday. How did you get on? I haven't got any footballing green screens to show you, but we'll have another look at the horse racing. I tried a different technique yesterday, yet again with good success, but with some worrying liability issues. Not much to really report in yesterday's 4 matches. Bolton getting the better of the local derby against Huddersfield. Ilves and KUPS, possibility if KUPS scored first to lay them. But no, Ilves scored first. And then the other match, it was a late equaliser for the newly promoted side against CFR Cluj. That went the way of the market, really. A Cluj lead until a very, very late winner. So no real surprises yesterday. But let's take a look at some of the green screens from the horse racing. I tried a new technique yesterday, and that was to work with support and resistance lines. So, for example, Hello Judge had resistance solidly at 5.4. So I placed a lay bet in there, expecting it to bounce off. Not sure if we can see the graphs, because this has been a saved race from yesterday. Looks like the graphs aren't available, which is a pity, because that's how I worked yesterday. Let's see if I can show you a live match now, live race now. So on Betfair and in Fairbot, if you click on the horse's name, you will ordinarily get a price volume over time graph. Now for me, I've been using this to look at where to lay the horse for a later back trade. Now here, this isn't a good example. Why? Because we've got 2 lines of support. I want just the one line of support. If he breaks through 4, he could break down to 3.5. I just want the one line. So that's what I look for. Or what I looked for yesterday as an idea. This is too illiquid, this race, but there might be an example for you. This would nearly be it. If we go to something like about 5.5, you can see a consistent pattern of breaking up. So what I would do here, for example, didn't know which one it is. It's this one here. So I would lay to back at 5.5 with a place at 5.6. So straight in and straight out. If the horse goes down to these odds, the previous price history has suggested a bounce off 5.5. So we'll see if that one's accurate. So I work my way down like this. There is a website called bfgraphs.co.uk which will put all of the graphs together in one screen for you. Here we can see about 7s for Flying Shelby. So I would put a lay bet in at 7s, but I can't because it goes all the way down to 7.4. So if I can get on in the third column, I will. So I hope this makes sense. It's a typical support resistance. You can quite clearly see 15s here, but please remember this is just an example for you. So 15.5 would be adequate for me. If the horse starts going down to these odds, then you might get a trade. So let's just, I would prefer 15.5. So we'll cancel the selected there and go to 15 for Stargent. Why? Because look at that bounce off. You're expecting another bounce off if he gets to 15 again. So we will see how that progresses. But in the meantime, let's look at some of the successes from yesterday using the principle of support and resistance. And now I just left this to go in play. Choosing a favourite as well in a handicap hurdle, laying at 3, back at 3.05. Nice, simple. And you've got a bigger return per race yesterday, notably. So this one, Speed Davis, obvious support at 15s, 15.5, but he didn't get there for that second time to bounce off. So it didn't get matched, not even in play. Born in the West, laid at 5, back at 5.1. Obviously, I noted the graph at 5s, kept bouncing off. Successful yesterday, but a couple of these did go in play, which I don't like. I don't like going in play. Even going in with the favourite here, retracement at 3s. A line of resistance or support at 3s, bouncing off that. Isambard Brunel and 5 of Friday, both at 10s, bounced off at 10.5. Got a nice, that relative to trading profit for me per race is excellent. You can multiply that. One of them was up to a fiver. It's because I went mob-handed with a lot of these, laying at 6.8, back at 7. So there's a lot of horses in this particular race in Brighton, which had strong support lines. I would tend to be a later back trader rather than a back to layer, because if you're later back and you've got all these other horses running to you, you've got a greater chance of the horse losing. Thurles, yet again, based around Tatio here. 5.3 late and a 5 back, I think it was. 5.2 late. No, 4.9 late, 5 back. This one, not sure what happened here, but obviously something happened. So there's a couple of trading ideas for you. Scalping and basing on the support and resistance lines. So something for you to think about. You can see if you can get this sussed, you can be making an amount each race cash free. But the problem with this is the liability, as I say, is £200 to get yourself £2.20. The risk reward is ridiculous. And going in play is very, very dangerous as well. From the horse racing on to today's football for today's trading angles. It's a welcome return for a few leagues that we know very well, but please remember it's post-Champions League pre-international break. If I can get the words out. For the you lunchtime traders, the Chinese Super League is available at soccerstats.com and is relatively tradable. Shanghai Port and Shanghai Shenhua, the two main ones who tend to provide some decent trades and late goals. Fukavar, I believe, are newly promoted, so could be vulnerable. We will see. Silkeborg and Copenhagen, post-Champions League, post-international pre-Champions League for Copenhagen. Watch out for potential team changes and El Nasri on the bench, or El Nasrui, their main striker, probably going to be benched in the first half. They could be vulnerable today. Copenhagen, certainly not going to be researching this one. Middlesbrough and Ipswich, let's take a look at this. 2.5 to 7. The favourite tells you that this is a difficult match to read. Well, from the AI report, you can immediately see that both of these sides find losing difficult. Hence, the odds I would suspect today. Head-to-heads, well, it was even Stevens last time these two met. It would be nice if AI would have given me the dates there. But, Middlesbrough matches seen an average of 2.55 goals per game across all competitions. 40% over 2.5 goals, a pretty low number. 33% of the away matches over 2.5 goals for Ipswich. So it's more of a defensively led match for these two particular teams. While the Ipswich games might be slightly less prone to high scoring, Middlesbrough at home could lean towards it. Both teams to score 68% of their matches, so that's a high number. 46% average in the league. Sorry, dropping to 46% in the league. So looks like the cup is enhancing the both teams to score patterns there. Middlesbrough expected goals of 8.6 and expected goals against of 7.2. So when your expected goals for is bigger than your expected goals against, you're in good territory. Get the average, of course, divided by the number of matches already played this season. Significant higher of 13.9 expected goals and expected goals against of 7.3. So interesting. That is real standout for Ipswich Town, isn't it? The expected goals for them compared to Middlesbrough, given the fact that they're defensively on a similar footing. So it's in attack that Ipswich could find their feet here today. That's what the XG says to me. Both teams defensively sound, but it is Ipswich's 13.9 expected goals compared to 8.6, which is a very big difference. So that is the reason for 2.5 the favourite. The market cannot split these two teams. Paris Saint-Germain and Strasbourg. Paris Saint-Germain, an ideal time to get them, but they're winning 2-0 at home. Very, very unspectacular this season. A lots of under 2.5 goal matches. So watch out for this post-international pre-Champions League. Likely Kylian Mbappe et al. Might be rested today. Could be a bit of a struggle for PSG, but it's likely to be an unspectacular 1-0 or 2-0 win for them today. Banana skins, don't forget, post-international pre-Champions League. If ever these sides are gettable at short odds when needing, it is this particular weekend. Union Berlin and Borussia Mönchengladbach. These two are not the best sides on the planet, and it's going to take a lot for me to be tempted in here to trade. Only 2 wins for Union Berlin, no win for Borussia Mönchengladbach, but they are keeping it tighter away with a 1-0 and a 1-1 away from home. Only the 1 clean sheet for Union Berlin. Not for me at all. Thank you very much. We can have a look at the expected goals. I'm getting a report done for the XG section. It's a nice bit of kit, this XG Football Analyzer. We've got a smattering of secondary leagues as well. French Ligue 2 is likely to be of interest today as well. Saint-Etienne, are they playing? I like to follow Saint-Etienne, newly relegated and dominating the league. Perfect scenario. And nothing much doing. A couple of odds on favourites in the Bundesliga 2 this evening. In Ireland, there's a few derby matches which I won't be trading and won't be researching. Cove Ramblers and Dundalk is a top 2 clash in the Irish First Division. Not going to be researching this one. It tends to be form lines or not at all. St Pat's and Shamrock Rovers is a derby style match as well. I won't be researching this one. Neither will the market makers, quite clearly. 2.7 the favourite. Drogs are playing Cork City. Let's take a look at the form lines here. It looks like head-to-heads. Drogs are unbeaten, but both teams have tended to score. They are very quick finishers in the last 15 minutes of home matches, first half. So you might want to look at that if it's 0-0 after the half-hour mark. No win in 16 away for Cork City pretty much picks the Drogs, doesn't it? Galway against Bows. Only 2 wins since the 30th of May for Galway. Home wins against 5th and lower, though, is solid form at home. No win in 6 away for Bows. Only 1 away win via the top 6. So on the challenge table form, you're with Galway here, but 2.38 the favourite is telling you we just need to make sure that Galway turn up today. Only 2 wins since the 30th of May. Pretty poor going. Shelburne and Sligo Rovers, 3 consecutive wins, scored in the last 11. No draw in 5 away for Sligo. All defeats bar 1 against the top 6. So that picks itself for Shelburne, and I agree with the market there. St Pat's and Shamrock, as I say, a derby style match, and I've told you, or I've shown you time and time again, I think to good effect, that these are better left avoided. They can be very difficult to read. Waterford and Derry City, no draw in 5 at home. 2-2-1 wins and a loss in the head-to-heads for Waterford. 9 goals conceded in the last 15 minutes. So they are vulnerable late on. If they're leading by a single goal in the 75th minute, they might be layable at short odds. Derry City come into this unbeaten in 7 and in 3 away. That's good unbeaten momentum. So watch out for that. Potential for both teams to score here based on the head-to-heads. 2-2-1 wins and a loss. In the Irish First Division, Athlone against Longford. No win in 21. Should that automatically pick Longford with 4 consecutive wins? But then I ask myself, why is it 2.55 for Longford? That looks extremely good value, but does it hide a story? Bray against Kerry. No draw in 17 for Bray. Quite simply with Bray, you're looking at 2 aspects. Looking at avoiding that draw, and you're looking at a goal at least before half-time. It tends to be a very, very strong habit since March. Kerry, they are fighting. So I think they'll give Bray a good run for their money. 5 draws in 6 matches. Kerry could get themselves a goal today. Cove Ramblers and Dundalk, as I say, top 2 clash. Research is absolutely pointless because inevitably these matches tend to go to whoever turns up on the day. Form lines are thrown out the window. Finn Harps and UCD. 4 defeats and a draw in the last 5. Only 3 defeats since the 23rd of June for UCD. what a contrast, but not really reflected in the market. That does suggest a bit of value for UCD. 2-goal habit, solid wins against 7th and lower. So I don't know why they're not shorter priced favourite here today, University College Dublin. Wexford and Treaty United, 2.3 the favourite. 5 wins in 6 for Wexford. 2 wins and a 0-0 and head-to-heads. No win in 10 away for Treaty United. So again, it's a strange market. Wexford, on that recent form, are the better suited side. Real Oviedo and Espanyol, newly promoted Real Oviedo. Only 2 wins, all other defeats. A typical newly promoted side. Struggling. 3 defeats and 4 at home, but have met Barcelona and Real Madrid. So don't take that to heart. That's not a sign of poor home form, is it? Espanyol, a couple of defeats against Real Madrid and Betis. So they're both losing to the big boys. In-play stats here, I think, for the newly promoted side meeting an established side for the first time. I think Espanyol established in the La Liga. I'll take a quick peek at the expected goals. I've just done a smattering of matches with the expected goals. Sometimes the app can't pick up some of the XG, but the expected goals away, Drogs and Cork City. It looks like a Drogs very tough side to score 2 against. That's how I would enter this match. Don't expect Cork City to score 2 consecutive goals, or at least expect them to have trouble creating enough chances. That's what XG is all about. It's about the creation of chances and the quality of those chances. And this is a really good example, isn't it, of 2 teams who are showing the right kinds of expected goals. Paris Saint-Germain can conjure up nearly 2 goals a game, creating their chances. And they have the quality to convert. Expected goals defence, if it's anything 1 or lower, it's very, very good defensive side. And as you know, with the clean sheets at home, that is reflected in that 1. Strasbourg have a couple of goals in them. They are creating enough. But you can go a bit more in depth. What's their expected goals like against the top 3, for example, relative to other teams? So that does have that cloud on it. It's based around all the matches they've played. But it's a very solid number. Scoring or creating enough chances to score 2 goals a game. That's very good indeed, isn't it? 1.94. Expected goals against, likely Paris Saint-Germain. Post-International Pre-Champions League will likely struggle to be overwhelming today. I would look for a 1-0, 2-0 home win. Taking the gloss off what should be a comfortable evening for them. And the last look at expected goals is a good example of a team very defensively sound. 2 teams very defensively solid, but one of them is not making that solidity count. You can quite clearly see with Middlesbrough here, 0.96 goals a game is not the greatest expected goals, is it? Trying to conjure up just 1 goal a game. Compared to their opponents, expected goals against of 0.91, i.e. very defensively sound. So Ipswich could keep a real lid on Borough today. Similarly, Borough's defence is excellent, isn't it? 0.8. And Ipswich could take advantage if they can conjure up their normal 2 goal a game expected goals. So this could be attack, be defence here today, Ipswich against Middlesbrough. So that's it from today. That's it for today. Sorry, I had a bit of a freeze in the computer. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel at Football Trading Profits live stream tomorrow, and we're going to do a couple of more tutorial videos. And you've seen a dip into the horse racing, so if I can suss out that, I will be doing a tutorial video for you. The e-letter will be due out this weekend. Plenty of discussion points based around the international break and the return of League football, and we're going to look at the bet and goes as well. They've been performing pretty well. There's a 14-day free trial in the description. Been in really good form of late, so I hope you can take advantage of it. Have a great day. My day off on a Friday. Plenty enough football. I look forward to seeing you over the weekend.